Every time a commercial flight begins its final descent, something quiet happens inside the cabin. The overhead lights dim, window shades are raised, tray tables are locked. Flight attendants move through the aisle with calm efficiency, checking and rechecking things most passengers have never thought to question. Most people assume it's routine. A procedural ritual. Something airlines do to signal that the journey is almost over. It isn't. Every single one of those steps, including the lights, exists for one reason, and one reason only. To keep you alive if the next few minutes go wrong. Landing is the most dangerous phase of any flight. Statistically, more accidents occur during approach and landing than at any other point in a journey. The aircraft is descending at speed, navigating changing air pressure, lining up with a strip of runway that, from altitude, looks impossibly narrow. The margin for error shrinks with every passing second. And if something goes wrong, if there is a sudden loss of power, a hydraulic failure, an emergency evacuation, the passengers on board will have only seconds to react. Those seconds are everything, and the dimmed lights are designed to protect them. The human eye needs time to adjust to darkness. In a brightly lit cabin, your pupils are contracted, optimized for the well-lit environment around you. Step suddenly into the dark, and you are functionally blind for anywhere between 10 and 30 seconds while your eyes scramble to adapt. In a normal emergency, 30 seconds is a long time. On a runway, in a smoke-filled cabin, with people pushing toward exits and seconds counting down. 30 seconds is the difference between life and death. By dimming the cabin lights before landing, airlines are forcing your eyes to begin that adjustment before an emergency ever happens. If the plane lands safely, which it almost always does, you never notice. But if something goes wrong the moment the wheels touch down, if the lights fail, if the cabin fills with smoke, if evacuation becomes necessary, your eyes are already adapted. You can see the exit signs, you can navigate the aisle, you can move. That is not a coincidence. That is engineering. The window shades serve the same purpose. Raised shades allow rescue crews on the ground to see inside the cabin, to assess what they're dealing with before they breach the doors. They allow passengers to see outside, to check for fire, debris, or water before choosing an exit. A closed shade in an emergency is a barrier. An open one is information. The tray tables are locked away because a deployed tray table in a crash impact becomes a battering ram aimed directly at the passenger behind it. The seat backs are raised because a reclined seat reduces the space a passenger behind you has to brace, stand, and evacuate. None of it is comfort, all of it is survival protocol, refined over decades of accident investigation, incident reports, and the hard-won knowledge of what goes wrong when things go wrong at 30,000 feet. Remarkable about this. You have boarded a flight, settled into your seat, watched a movie, eaten a meal, and the entire time, the aircraft and its crew have been operating inside a framework built entirely around the possibility of catastrophe. The safety briefing you half listened to. The exits you glanced at once. The lights going dim as the coastline appears below you. All of it connected. All of it deliberate. Aviation is the safest form of mass transportation ever invented, not because accidents don't happen, but because every accident that has ever occurred has been studied, documented, and converted into a procedure. The dimmed lights are the result of that process. A lesson learned, encoded into policy, repeated on every flight, on every airline, in every country in the world. The next time you feel the cabin lights fade and the aircraft begins its final descent, you will know what it means. Not ambiance. Not routine. A quiet, invisible act of preparation. The aviation industry making sure that if the next few minutes are the worst of your life, you will be ready for them. Most flights land without incident. The lights come back up. The cabin fills with the sound of seatbelts unclicking and overhead bins opening. Passengers file out into the terminal and never think about it again. But the preparation was real, and for the people who have needed it, it has made all the difference.